Doing anything for the first time is nerve-wracking. Imagine joining a very crowded market competing with many corporate giants. Well, that's exactly what popular retailer Lend Me Your Ears is doing with the AD01s. Hi, my name is Tom and welcome to On a Student Budget. Today we are taking a look at the Alpha and Delta AD01, the first offering under the sub-brand Alpha and Delta, a collaboration between an unknown Chinese manufacturer and popular reseller Lend Me Your Ears, a company that has been distributing audio gear to the Asian and Pacific community for the last many years. Before we begin this review, I want to thank Tio and Lend Me Your Ears for sending a pair of these AD01s out for review. I really appreciate that, and I'm going to put links in the description below on where you can find out more information about these AD01s and basically threads and basically anything and everything you will possibly need on these earphones. So I hope you guys check it out. Moving on into build, the AD01s are very well constructed overall that features a fully metal housing with detachable replaceable cables that feature a 2mm DC plug, which requires quite a lot of force to detach and reattach. So this connection feels very secure and it doesn't spin freely or swivel like MMCS connectors. So for a detachable cable, I think it's very well implemented. The rest of the cable here is well relieved, and the cable itself features a sort of braided kind of sheathing overall, which allows it to be very thin, but at the same time feels quite robust as well, and looks like it can take quite a lot of beating. My only issue with the cable itself is that it retains a little bit of memory. As you can see, it kind of coils up on its own a little bit after being like put in your bag or your pocket and such. The Y-shaped connector here is very compact with the cable cinch here to manage your cable. Bottom half of the cable is the same with the braided sheathing overall, but it's a little bit thicker overall. And it terminates in a L-shaped connector here that's very compact and very flexible, so it's perfect for the portable scenario. So overall, in terms of build, the AD01s are really almost at the top or right at the top of the price range in terms of $100 earphones overall. In terms of comfort, the AD01s I found are above average, despite the fact that they have a little bit larger earpieces overall than a traditional earphone. There are 2 dynamic drivers in here, so I'm not surprised at that. They sit very comfortably in my ears. They have a smooth housing that doesn't cause any sort of hot spots or pressure points to my ears. So I found them to be very enjoyable even for long listening sessions as well. Now moving on into isolation. The isolation I found with these earphones to be above average again. They are a multi-vented design. I think I counted 2 vents with these earphones. However, that said, along with the bassier kind of sound signature with these earphones, which I'm going to talk about in a later part of this video, I found that in conjunction to that, it makes the AD01s a very practical option whether you're at home listening or you're listening at a loud, noisy environment. One note of quibble is the fact that I found a little bit of the cable noise to be a little bit moderate, I would say. So if you're going to be doing a lot of rigorous activities with these earphones, I wouldn't really recommend the AD01s in general because of the interference in terms of the cable noise. But this can be easily alleviated by wrapping the cable above your ear like so. Moving on into the sound quality aspect of this review. The AD01s takes the conventional sort of bassy, warm sound signature, but adds a little bit of a twist to it. So first off, they have a very rich, a very smooth, a punchy sort of bass response with a little bit more emphasis in the mid bass, which gives everything a sort of more sense of visceral punch and gives kick drums a good sense of reverberation as well. While at the same time, the sub bass has good extension as well, so everything feels very satisfying. So I think that this works very well in terms of like rock music, modern day studio recordings, everything that's a little bit more bassier sounding. The bass here is not the tightest bass, but I think in terms of the bass quality, it's actually very well done overall. Now going on into the mid-range. Typically with a lot of warmer sounding bassier earphones, you get a large dip in the mid-range, which hinders in terms of its clarity and loses sort of the naturalness and the timbres and the textures of the voices. However, with the AD01s, I think they've done a lot of things to kind of alleviate that issue. They have a sort of, because of that mid to upper bass emphasis, they give male vocals a little bit more, and in terms of a lower mid-range, they give male vocals a little bit more sense of body, which makes Michael Bublé's voice very, like, even more charming and more unique as well. So I found when listening with these earphones. The upper mid-range does not sound thin. It does rein in the upper mid-range a little bit, so female vocals don't have that sense of harshness, while at the same time it sounds surprisingly clear. So these are a bassy earphone, but also very clear as well. So going into the treble here has a little bit of an emphasis in the lower treble, which gives a little bit of energy back to cymbals and tambourines and such. However, it's not overly done in such a way that causes any sort of sibilance or any sort of like annoyance to your ears. The treble has good extension, not great, so this doesn't have the sort of shimmer and the sort of expansive soundstage that you get with other earphones. However, I think this is done tastefully, because I think in this loud, noisy environments that you're going to be listening to these earphones in, you don't want that really like a piercing treble to be damaging your hearing as you turn up the volume a little bit more. In conclusion, I think that the AD01s are a fantastic option under $100 because they feature a very robust overall build quality with a very sturdy detachable cable and connections, and they also have a sound signature that's warm and bassy while at the same time not fatiguing, but you're not losing out on the clarity. So these earphones, I think, are a great first step from Lend Me Your Ears. I can't wait to hear what you guys have in store on the next iterations of these earphones or other earphones in general. So hope you guys enjoyed that review. Definitely like and subscribe to this video and channel. It'll definitely help me out. If you have any questions on the AD01s, leave it in the comments below. And I'll have more reviews as well, and I'll put them in the annotations over here, 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 and here as well. And as always, share with your friends, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that good stuff. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.